Yeah. Yeah. Come on up. Paula.
So thank you for this opportunity. I love the coaching part, and it's fairly easy for me to do that and dream with the person and just engage in that vision and hold that space, that the knowing that the person can have that all.
Yes.
But when it turns around to me, there was a moment of panic that I need to share this, and I'm gonna put this out there, and maybe I should back off of it a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't share the full dream.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
Did you end up sharing it all anyway?
I did.
Are you ready to share it with all of us?
Could I have some IMs?
One of the hallmarks of being an effective coach is challenging your clients.
Yes.
Without trying to push them into something. You want to invite challenge. Would you like to share this with all of us? She could say no. She freaked out, but there's a part of her that's being challenged, stepping up to the challenge, and we want challenge.
Yes.
We think we want everything easy, but we also want challenge. We need challenge. And that's how we grow. And being a great coach, we need to know when to baby the clients and when to challenge the clients. And I don't know that there's here's the formula. You got to trust your intuition. If you're babying them too long, too much, for too many sessions or whatever, then maybe it's time to challenge them. Or if you've been challenging them for a while, and maybe it's time to just really, sugar, sweet, whatever, love it out, always loving, but maybe a little extra sugar. Paula.
Okay. So, yes, I'll rise to the challenge,
Nice.
even though it's not comfortable. Challenge is not comfortable, by the way, so. So, yes, I want to be the female Christian Michelson.
Nice.
And I want to be helping, and what I mean by that is, the idea of teaching and being part of, but really giving the extreme value to people, which is what you do, that allows people to grow while they learn, and to support them in having the value of knowing they could have the best life they can and knowing how to achieve it, which is what you do as well. And I want to focus mainly on with women and women empowerment and helping women to get to that place in their sturdiness in their life. And so that's the basis of it. And
Nice.
it includes, millions of dollars and
Yeah.
houses at the beach and,
Nice.
all of that. And
Yeah.
now no Ferrari. I'm
Yeah.
not a big car person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm a big barefoot at the beach person. So.
Nice.
And
Me
then
too.
there's my son that I feel like I really need to mention. He's 14, and we've been through stuff in the last couple of years that he's kind of searching, as a 14-year-old would anyway. But I really want him to learn from me, which is what I have done through your help and your courage and your teaching, is to be able to stand in his own shoes and know who he is every day and celebrate that no matter what is going on. And I want to be part of that support and that love that helps him achieve that.
Nice.
So,
I see that for you.
thank you.
I see that for him. And I definitely see you having your own empire of helping, healing, coaching, teaching, supporting,
Thank you.
uplifting the world. So
Thank
I
you.
definitely see that for you. And I'm excited because I get to watch you do it over
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's give it up for Paula. Nurji.
I just wanted to share. Oh,
Nurjahan.
I know I'm not wearing my name tag.
Nurjahan. No,
Yeah.
I know you're not wearing your name tag. That's okay. Since this is we've just spent the last 2 days together in our mastermind and the last 2 years together, etc. So we know each other pretty well. And so I called you Nurji,
No one else
whatever.
is allowed to.
But,
I'm just kidding.
but since this is the first time everybody else is hearing you, I just felt like I need to say your name right. Or you can say your name and, yeah. Anyway.
Hello, my name is Noor Jahan. My partner over here, I wanted to share that her dream really inspired me. And it's interesting because every time I've shared my dream in the past, it's felt like it's coming from a place that's about me, and what I want, and it feels a little selfish. And when she shared her dream of creating this wellness center for people who are recovering from cancer, I just thought, oh my goodness, if each of us stepped into the biggest versions of ourselves, how incredible this world could be and how much we could change the world. And her mission felt so generous. And I don't know if you felt that way or not. And you talked about 6 figures, making 6 figures. And I thought, oh my goodness, make more than 6 figures, because the more you do, the more people you're going to be serving, and the better that's going to be for this world. So it just gave me a different perspective on things. What I liked about it as being the coach was inspiring, which is true in most cases. In this one, it was true on a different level, so I really appreciated that.
Nice. Let's give it up for Nurjahan. Yes, our clients can inspire us. I am inspired by the bigs all the freaking time, and all my other clients, and the limitless clients, and my one-on-one clients. Like, I love it. It's one of the greatest things about being in this is being around inspiring people. And then when they are grateful for your help in achieving the stuff that they want, creating their wellness center, having their own empire or whatever, it's better than the money. I love the money. You know, I welcome more and more money every day. But I love helping people more. I love getting to do what I get to do. I would do it even if I didn't make money. This is what I'm here to do. It's not about the money, but the money is an important exchange. And we'll talk more about that maybe here in Rapid Results Coaching Academy, or maybe in one of our other programs, but it's important. The change happens for clients. Change begins the minute they have maybe a free session with you. Change is already underway. But a big threshold is when they pay you. When the clients pay you, shifts already happen. I remember when I hired my first coach, and I paid, and I was like, okay, what are you going to do? We had our first session. She's like, what are you going to do this week? And I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and that. Things I already knew to do. Things I'd been blowing off for over a year. Things I was procrastinating, now I'm doing. What the hell did she do? It wasn't like she healed something for me or whatever. It was like, I'm paying her. I better get serious. I better go do the shit I need to do now. Like, the transformation just in people paying. When people pay, they pay attention. The more they pay, the more they pay attention. And when people don't pay, they often don't pay attention. So money is an important exchange. It's an important part of the whole equation. All right, let's hear a couple more. Fabienne.
Hi. Well, I want to share how badly I did in this session, and that's the reason why I am here.
Nice.
I did everything wrong. And it's okay. I'm fine with it. That's the reason why I'm here, because I know I liked Christian's style, how he's very humble and sweet about the way you install the presence. And from the video, because I am doing your coaching on the video, I got it. I said, he's going to help me to communicate better with the people who don't know me. Because with my client, I have no problem. Once they are a one-on-one client, they know I'm loving, sweet, and everything, that's fine. But when I meet somebody for the first time, because immediately I come with, I know it already. And that's not good. They need to express themselves, to have space to express themselves. And I completely did that, and I apologize, but I know you're fine. But I wanted to use that, because that's the reason why I'm here, and I'm sure over these 4 days I'm going to be able to resolve that.
Nice. Let's give it up for Fabienne. And I want to acknowledge you for being so honest about sucking. Let's give it up one more time.
Because it can only improve. So.
Yeah. That's how we get better. We have to acknowledge the truth of where we're at. You don't need to beat yourself up about it, And we can make the room 2 more degrees warmer would be nice. I already asked earlier. It's just like, but it's gotten colder, not warmer. And I'm okay, but I know for you guys. Yeah, we're working on it. Yes. And you know what? Adjusting that one might be good, but we also have one over there, and we also need to see if that's actually what works, because a lot of times they put the things on there, and they have secret controls somewhere else. So, it's like, You play around with that all you want, and it's not going to do anything anyway. Did you know a lot of crosswalk buttons don't do anything? They actually don't work at all. They just put them there to make you feel more patient and that you're actually, because otherwise if they're not there and they're just on a timer, you might think, oh, there's no thing and I'm just going to cross when I want to cross. But at least by putting a dummy button. Same thing with the elevator close button. The elevator close button on most elevators doesn't actually make the door close. Yeah, it just gives you a sense of control. Yeah. Isn't that it? Those are some fun facts, yeah? Okay, Scott.
I feel how that's my life right there. I'm Scott Lowry from Denver, Colorado, and new to coaching, like really new to coaching. I think I just had my first coaching experience right
Wow,
here.
your first coaching
I
session.
think so. One of the things that I noticed going into as I was the coach was when you said to be present, because a lot of the times the way I feel is when you're carrying on a conversation, it's like sometimes you want to just up one story and up the next story. And as my partner was talking, I was like, oh yeah, and I wanted to say, oh yeah, that's me too, and me too. And I stopped myself, and I just sat there and I just listened to what he was saying. And then after he was finished, that's when the questions started coming to me to ask him. And that was really insightful for me because those questions were not present at the time I was going into that coaching session at all.
Yeah,
So that's just one thing that I noticed.
beautiful. Let's give it up for Scott. Karen.
Hi. So I know I can show up really well as a coach, but I started out as a client in this exercise, and I also noticed that what I had highlighted, I immediately judged as superficial things. In the past, it's like, oh, I want to help more people so I can make more money. And I totally didn't do that this time. And I started out by saying, I feel really scared to share this with you. And my partner was really, he's like, don't worry about it. Just tell me what you want to tell me. And I did. And I just told him the superficial things that I wanted to have. And it wasn't because of, there wasn't a justification. So that's been a big shift for me. And I really appreciated my partner because he said, you're the right person for me. And I just was like, oh my gosh. Somehow there was a great energy there, and I really appreciated him expressing that. And then, when we switched, I listened to him. I was in my coaching mode, and I felt really good.
How would you like to tell us your superficial goal?
I want $10 million in assets. I want $1 million in the bank account, and I want time to do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Nice. Let's give it up for Karen. I see that for you. You deserve that. You deserve it. You deserve it. Just by wanting whatever the hell you want, you deserve to have it. You don't need to even deserve it to have it. You don't even need to deserve it to have it. Just you want it, let yourself have it. Manifest it. Manifest it, right? We don't need to go into the how. We got to be careful because even though the 5-step client breakthrough system is clarify your vision and directions, strategize your actions, right? Going too fast into the how is one of the biggest dream killers. I don't know how I'm going to get the 10 million. Don't worry about that yet. Just let yourself want it. Let yourself have it. Let yourself manifest it. Let it come to you. And definitely share it. Speak it into existence. Write it down. I'm so grateful that I have $10 million in assets and $1 million cash in the bank. I'm so grateful I have $10 million in assets and $1 million in the bank. I'm so grateful for every dollar of my $10 million in assets and every dollar of my $1 million in the bank. Write it down. Speak it into existence. I'm so grateful for being a billionaire. I'm so grateful for every single dollar of my billions of dollars. Yeah, why not? Okay, great job, Karen. And great job sharing that it was scary, right? As soon as one person shares that it was something that they were scared, it creates safety in the whole room. Doesn't it? Yeah. Sharing that Fabienne, sharing that she sucked at being just the listening part of the present. that creates like, okay, like that's the bottom, like at least I didn't suck, like, okay, like now, right, there's room for us. Nobody starts off great at most things, right? Like, you might be, if you're really good at one sport and really athletic, then you start a new sport, then some of that might transfer over and you could be naturally pretty good at something else right away. If you can play one instrument, then that might help you play another instrument. But, if you go from, from learning how to ice skate and learning how to crochet, like, and there's probably is even still some spillover there, but like you're going to start off shitty at most things. That's how it goes. It's the law of natural progression. You start off bad, you get a little bit not as bad, you get a little bit better, you get okay, you get mediocre, you get average, you get a little better than average, you start getting good, become great, then you get excellent, then you get outstanding, then you become one of the world's best. That's the natural progression. Some people don't progress all the way. Many people quit right at the beginning. Most people quit before they even get in the game. And then many people quit. They take one step, 2 steps. It gets challenging and they quit. We just did our high ropes course for the bigs yesterday. And the difference between going across the first activity to the last activity was dramatic. Hugely different. We were terrible at the beginning. Some more terrible than others, for sure. But by the end, every single person who made it all the way across, all the different parts, all the different elements, everybody was better, more comfortable, more competent, and more confident at the end than they were at the beginning. Everyone, myself included, even though this was the 3rd time I had done it. And this, I know, like, what? Wait, this is, we're not getting, like, all we did was, like, we shared goals, we listened, like, this is basic. This is basic. And look at all the nuance. Look at all the nuance on something as simple as listening to somebody tell you their goals. Look at all the nuance here. There's a lot. And I want you to see it all. Because then as you're coaching, you're going to be more aware when you're coaching people. Even if you've been coaching for years, you may forget that it's scary to even share a goal, let alone a problem, let alone a failure. Right? So this is really important. In fact, this may be the most important part of the whole coaching. Because if you are not creating rapport, if you are not creating safety and building trust, then you're going to have a hard time really coaching your clients. Your clients may stop showing up for sessions. They may want to drop out and quit the coaching. And that sucks for you for your confidence. That sucks for you for your income. But the biggest tragedy is it sucks for the client to not get the ongoing help that they signed up for and to not get the transformation, the change, the results that they signed up for, that they want so much that they're willing to spend money for. It's hard to make change on our own. It's hard to make change at all, especially on our own. Thank God for coaching. What would people do without coaching? I'm like, how? And one of my students and long-term friends and students and clients and now buddy coach, we were just talking as we were using our superpowers, coaching each other, using our like instant miracle peace process, some of the super duper stuff that we do here. And we were just talking like, how do people get by in this world without these tools? Like how, like God, to be able to be in pain and frustration and judgment or fear or whatever, and then like to be able to work through it really fast, that's like such a gift, right? And to be coached at all is such a gift. Like how did people ever achieve anything before? But people do. People do achieve without coaching. People can achieve without coaching, right? It's often slower, it's often harder, and oftentimes they try and fail and then never try again. Pablo.
And so what I found really fascinating about this exercise was being the client. Oftentimes, I've been in the coaching position for so long that I forgot what it was like to be a client. And what I realized that as a client, and you're about to tell this person your goal, to you, these goals are great and you're excited, but when you say them out loud to another person, there's a part of you that's hesitant. And so the minute that I said it, and Joseph, who was my partner, was there with me, and he told me it's possible and it's a great idea, getting that encouragement not only got me to immediately buy into the coaching process, it was someone saying, all right, someone that's already in my corner, but also gave me the encouragement, the extra belief to actually bring these things to life. So just being present, listening, and saying you can do this and I can see this for you, that was kind of like the turbo boost to the start of the coaching experience, where I thought was fantastic. And now I'm seeing it in a completely different way, and just putting more emphasis to, from the moment, from the gate, ensuring that this person believes that someone here is with you and someone else believes in you.
Yes.
So that was fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for Pablo and Joe. Okay, we're going to keep things moving here. So if we can get rid of those mics again, that'd be great. All right. So step 1 is clarify their vision and direction. We did that a little bit here, and we got to hear some of people's goals, some of their visions, some of their direction. And it's always great to create a vision board or dream board of what you want most. And I highly recommend very concrete pictures of the thing that you want. And one picture per thing that you want that would represent the thing you want. Like if you want a dream home, put one picture. You could put more than one, but don't get too crazy. I've seen a lot of dream boards where it's like a big splattered mess of all kinds of things and words and phrases and all, and all that stuff. And that may work great, but my intuitive hit and what's worked for me is just having a very simple dream board with very specific goals, maybe a big pile of cash that represents the money that you want to make, a picture of the house, a picture of the car, a picture of the girl or the guy or whatever it is that you want. And then you'll see it every day, and it's like it juices you just every time. You don't even pay attention. Some people say write down your goals every day. Great. It's probably a good idea. Right? I heard that, and I did that for a couple of days. But I heard also to make a dream board, and I did, and I had made all my dreams come true except for one. Well, actually, it's funny because I'm wearing a watch now. But on my vision board, I had like a Rolex or some other really expensive watch, and I was like, oh, I want to get that. And then at some point, I stopped wearing watches, and when I got to the point where I could afford to buy a $10,000 watch, I was like, I don't want a $10,000. Like, I don't need a $10,000. I don't even wear watches anymore. So, yeah, so your goals will change over time anyway. It's like you don't have to have a perfect vision or perfect, like it doesn't have to be all, you got a vision, you got a direction, you got some goals. And one thing that's really also good to know about clarifying your vision and direction, this is one of the things that gets tricky for people, how big should I set my goal? And what timeline should I pick? Right? Sometimes we are afraid to dream too big because it's intimidating, right? And it just seems like so far away, and maybe even seems impossible. I don't know. Don't really want to use green because of anybody who's colorblind, but hopefully you can still see it even if you can't tell what color it is. But it's green. Ugh. 1 billion. It's like, oh, that just seems so impossible and so far away. Like, right? Who here in here had a dream, who wrote down in your journal, who here wrote down billionaire? Who wrote down billionaire? Keep your hand up really high. Nice. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Who wrote down millionaire or $1 million or something like that? Okay, great. All right. Million or multi. Raise your hand, hold it up. There is. Okay. Whether it's billion or it's million, and I'm talking about money, but your goal can be all kinds of things. It doesn't really matter what your goal is. But if your goal intimidates you or scares you, then we want to work on that when we get to step 5, which is master your mind and emotions. if your goal, a lot of people say, if your goal doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. Why would a goal be scary? Why would it be scary to have $1 million or $1 billion? Why would it be scary to have a great relationship or to be in great shape? That doesn't make any effing sense, except it's true. Most people are afraid to achieve even not necessarily that big of goals. Goals can be scary because we have something in us called approach avoidance. Oh, I want to be rich, but I don't want people to judge me and think I'm selfish jerk that doesn't care about anybody else. I want to be rich, but I don't want people telling me, oh, give me money for this, give me money for that. Can I have some money? I want this money. Can I have money? And I want to have all these awkward conversations with relatives who want your money. That might be a thing that's like you're afraid of. Oh, I want to be rich, but I don't want to have to give half the money away to the government. Or more than half if you live in California. Yeah. I don't want to go there. You make $1 million in California, in the US plus California, and probably in Canada and many other countries, but you make $1 million, and then the government's like, thank you, I'll have half. Oh, those rich people, we need to tax them more. Maybe. Some of them. So we have approach avoidance. Maybe we want to get into a relationship. Oh my God, I'm single, I'm frustrated, I've been single for so many years, I want to get into a relationship. But do you really? Is there a part of you that wants to get in a relationship and a part of you that's maybe afraid of being rejected or afraid of having your heart broken or afraid of any of that crap, right? So we have things we want and then we're afraid of it. I want to be thin, but I don't want to give up Oreos. Dark chocolate covered pretzels, that was my biggest weakness. I haven't had one in years. I want to have one right now so bad. Just one. Okay. All right. So, thank God for sugar-free chocolate. Lily's sugar-free chocolate, sweetened with stevia. Thank you. Because I cut out chocolate for a long time. Yeah. When I gave up sugar, I gave up chocolate too for a while. Okay. Anyway, you want to be thin, but I don't want to give up the chocolate-covered Oreos or the chocolate-covered pretzels or whatever it is. I want to be thin, but I don't want to go to the gym. I want to be thin, but I don't want people hitting on me. I want people to compliment me and think I'm hot, but I don't want it to get weird. I don't want people to grabbing my butt. Or worse, right? Like, seriously, like, why? We have all this, okay? All right, so whatever your goal is, you want to have some people will say, oh, I want to be thin, but I only want to lose 20 pounds. When in reality, they probably want to lose 60, but they think 60 is too hard, or, I'll get unwanted attention if I lose all 60, or, you know what I mean? Like, we don't go for all the way for what we want. So that's why I wanted to just push button goals. If you could just push the button and have it, what would you want? I would be thin. I'd be in the best shape of my life, right? So whether it's best shape of your life, lose 60 pounds, whatever it is, right? This is called the success arrow. Let's just take money because it's simpler, and let's say you want $1 million, right? Or you want to have a business that generates $1 million a year. You can have, people are like, well, how big should my goal be, and timeline and all that stuff. To me, time is not that relevant. I don't worry about time too much. The goal is, to become a millionaire, let's say, or to have $1 million business. Maybe it's going to happen in this calendar year. Maybe it'll happen the next year. Maybe it'll happen in 3 years or 5 years. I don't know. I once heard, if you want to become a millionaire, don't just hope to be a millionaire. Don't just dream to be a millionaire. Decide to become a millionaire. So, make the decision for whatever it is that you want, that you're going to have it. Decide to have it. I was at a Tony Robbins seminar years ago, and he had everybody play Simon Says. And we're playing Simon Says. And then it gets down to the last few people, and there's 5 people left, and then one person ends up winning. But he asked everybody, Who here in the audience decided to win? And like barely anybody. Who here up on stage decided to win? All of them. Decide to have it. Decide to win the money game. Decide to win the best shape of your life game. Decide to win the best relationship game. Decide to win. And you want the ultimate result, right? You want to be at your best shape, not just, I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to be in the best shape. If that's what you want. I'm not telling you, I'm not superimposing my goals on you, right? But don't, just notice if you're selling yourself short before you even let yourself dream it. And then have other goals that support that goal, right? If it's your coaching business, if you want to have $1 million coaching business, then you got to get first paying client. Have a $5,000 month. Have a $10,000 month. Have a $100,000 year. A $250,000 year. A $500,000 year. A $750,000 year. $1 million year. Maybe there's 1.5, but it could eventually 2 million, eventually maybe billions. Okay? Get client. 5K month, 10K month, 100K year. You can have a 10K month, and then after that have a 1K month, right? Right? That's not, a 10K month doesn't mean $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year means $100,000 a year. 250K, 500K. And I didn't start out with a big goal to have $1 million business. And then timeline, it's I want to get a client as fast as I can. I want to get my first $5,000 a month as fast as I can. Some people are really I got to get it by a certain time. To me, I believe that success is inevitable. Whatever it is that you decide to have, you will have it. If you're willing to do the work. If you're willing to do the work on yourself, and you're willing to roll up your sleeves and do the work in the world, you will get the result that you want. I heard, if you want to be a millionaire, decide to be a millionaire. I decided, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to be a millionaire. And I thought it would happen maybe in 3 years or 5 years. And it took probably 10 or more years from when I first heard that and first decided. But I got there. It starts with a decision. Yeah. Any questions about that? Clear? Simple? So make sure if your client has a big goal or big dream that what the first, these aren't necessarily the steps that it's going to take to get this goal. This isn't an action. This isn't strategizing your actions, right? This is just taking the big goal and having smaller milestone goals that will lead to the big goal. Same thing if you're losing weight. It's you're not going to lose 60 pounds, be in the best shape, lose 60 pounds, have great energy, all that stuff. If that's the big goal, it's okay, you're going to lose 1 pound and keep it off, right? 2 pounds, whatever the thing is, right? You get the idea. And you can set a timeline. I want to lose a pound, I want to lose 60 pounds by the end of the year. Great. And don't beat yourself up over it or stress out about it. Okay. Clarify your vision and direction. Who here feels like they can do that for themselves? Who here feels like they can do that for their clients? Help their clients clarify their vision and direction. Great. The next step is to help your clients strategize their actions. Now you know what you want. Let's figure out how to get it. How can we make the room warmer? Let's create a plan. Start a fire. Get more clothes. Put on the blanket. Ask the team to ask for help. Nice. It is. Oh, yeah, this is a whole nother room. Yeah, maybe we need it over here. It might be warmer back there than it is up here. It could be right there. Some people are working on it. People are working on it. Okay. Strategize your actions. So you don't have, it's not always a good idea to go straight from the dreaming of the goal to the strategizing of the actions. Okay? It can be good to just let that kind of sit there for a session or two, for a week or two. Like I don't want to even think about how it's going to happen. All I want you to do, I don't want you to take any action on it this week. Think about this. If your goal was to lose weight and your coach said, that's amazing, I don't want you to do anything about that this week. I just want you to sit in the enjoying of the dreaming of it, the imagining of it, the feeling what it's going to feel like to be at your best. Maybe you even go straight to step 5 and help them master their psychology about it. And you say, when you think about being in your best shape, how do you feel? We did this at Limitless, my Limitless mastermind. We did this in Sedona a few weeks ago for me. And I had some limiting beliefs about being in my best shape, the best shape of my life. I was like, I don't want to do, it's the is it worth what it would take to get it? I don't know if I want to be in the best shape. I want to be in the if it was easy, if I could just press the button, I would take it. But do I want to do what it would take to do it? It feels like when I want to give up the food and I don't know that I want it bad enough to go through what it would take to get it. And then I thought to myself, I'm in the how. Why can't I just let myself live in the what I want for a little bit? What if I let go of the beliefs that are limiting and may not even be true, that in order to be in the best shape of my life, that I have to give up anything or do a bunch of things that I wouldn't want to do? Maybe that's not even true. So I let go of all that story, and I just let myself go, I want to be in the best shape of my life, and I healed all the stuff counter to that, and instantly I felt like I was in the best shape of my life. Just by shifting that, I was like, whoa, I could get even better shape, but I already feel much closer to being in the best shape of my life just by having let that stuff go than I did 10 minutes before that. So the 5-step client breakthrough system doesn't have to go in order. You don't have to follow all 5 steps. You could go from, I want to be in the best shape of my life, we're not going to create a diet plan or an eating plan or even an exercise plan. Let's just optimize your environment. Right? We'll get into that later. Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and now go to step 2, which is strategize your actions. But it can be very helpful to not do that right away with your clients. You guys see that? Yeah. Let's just, or maybe if there's just one little thing that you could do this week, what would that be? It's I would go, I would cut out sugar. I'm not going to stop you. If you decide to do it, great. I support you in doing it 100%. And I just want you to know that is a big change. And if you're ready and you want to go for it right now, that's amazing. And I'm okay if you want to wait a little bit and we can work on some stuff. And right now, maybe just pick one simpler thing. Right? Maybe just cut out dessert this week. Or cut out sugary drinks. Even fruit drinks. We just cut out, you go ahead and eat all the regular stuff, and maybe instead of completely cutting out sugar, or whatever, just just try to keep it simple. Change in clients and motivation and momentum. We want to create momentum in our coaching. It's a little thing. Let's just do a little thing this week. And maybe, just for today, just tell yourself, just for today, I'm not going to have dessert. Just for today. Not that I'm giving up desserts, but just for today, I'm not having any desserts. And then just see how that is. And then we'll talk about it. And when it's time, we can create a plan. We can create an action plan, a strategic action plan. There's all kinds of plans we could create. If you're coaching business owners, you can help them create a marketing plan. You can help them create a business plan. You could help them create a strategic action plan. You could help them create a hiring plan. You could help them create all kinds, like there's so many things that plans that we could help our clients create. If it's helping someone lose weight, it's just a weight loss plan, right? Whatever the plan is, it doesn't have to be complicated. One of the simple ways to create a plan is the 3-chunk method of a plan. If you wanted to get in the best shape of your life, what would be like the 3 major things that you think you would need to do in order to get in the best shape of your life? Sleep. Ooh, that's a hot one. You know what? That's a secret one that most people don't know. There was a study done. They did this study on people, and it was on women. They had these women, they just were like, we want you to just focus on getting, I don't remember exactly how much, 7.5 hours of sleep, I think it was. Like, whatever you got to do, just focus on getting 7.5 hours of sleep. And we're going to have you do that for, I don't remember how many weeks it was, but for several weeks in a row. And many of the women they weren't trying to lose weight. It wasn't a weight loss program. Just by sleeping 7.5 hours, like 60% of them lost weight. I read that study and I was like, this is not my business, but I get so many ideas, you know. Who here gets lots of ideas? Yeah, we're idea people. And I was like, this is going to be so hot. And I came up with a name, and I bought the domain name, and I created an opt-in page, and I didn't do anything with it, but it's called Sleep to Slim. Go to bed and wake up thinner without diet or exercise. I didn't do anything with it, but, you know, Sleep to Slim. Who wants that weight loss plan? So yeah, what are the 3 major things you need to do in order to get the best shape of your life? Maybe one of them is getting the right amount of sleep. What else might be some major chunk that you need to get handled? Water might be one of them. Nutrition, movement. Yeah, we don't necessarily need a big complicated thing. Let's take a different one besides weight loss. Let's say you wanted to grow your business to $100,000 a year. What would be like the 3 phases or 3 things, not necessarily activities, but like 3 big milestones or 3 big things that you need to get handled in order to get a 6-figure business? Get a coach, maybe. Pick a niche. What else? Know where your clients are. Right, grow your list. Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of ideas here, but yeah. But you could pick 3 things. Maybe it's like, I'll come up with, if you want to grow your business to $100,000 a year as a coach, well, the 3-step process for getting clients is, getting people to hear about you, getting people to have a session with you, and then getting people to hire you. So you just kind of focus on those 3 things. Now, this is not a big, all-encompassing plan, right? It's just 3 simple things to focus on. How, getting people to hear about you, getting people who want to have a session with you, and getting the people who want to have a session with you to hire you. If you just focus on those 3 things, you can have a 6-figure business. And the beauty of just 3 things is it's just 3 things. It's just 3 chunks or 3 phases. Phase 1, you can look at it as phases too, instead of like the 3 elements. But if you look at it phases, like phase 1 might be, getting the word out there phase, getting people to know me, getting out there, getting, shooting videos, doing social lives, doing, going to networking events, just kind of getting the word out there about you phase might be like phase 1. Phase 2 might be now that I have built some, like, phase 1 also could be looked at as relationship building, right? Getting to know people, getting people to know me. That might be phase 1. Phase 2 might be, okay, maybe phase 2 is monetizing those relationships. Maybe spend the first 60 days, just 90 days, just getting to know people, getting people to know you. And now that people are starting to know who you are, you do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live every day for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You start building a bit of a following. And now maybe you start moving into the monetizing phase where you start making some offers. You start offering free sessions. Maybe you have a book or a program that you sell, or you start, create a webinar that converts and gets people into your program. And so maybe that's the next phase, right? And then the 3rd phase might be like, starting to build the empire or automation phase, or like whatever. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. There's no right way to do things. One of the things I learned in growing my own business and being in lots of masterminds. I love being in masterminds. I am in 3 different masterminds right now. I've been in like 8 or 9 different masterminds over the years. And I believe in masterminds so much because masterminds are an environment. And when you surround yourself with people who are up to big things, you can't help but be caught up in the wake of that. And I was sharing that because what was I just saying? Oh, there's not just one way. So I'm in these masterminds with lots of really smart people, huge businesses, really successful. And one thing I realized is that if you stand in front of the group and you say, here's the challenge I have, or here's this opportunity that I have, what do you guys think I should do about it? If there's 40 people in that mastermind, I'm probably going to get at least 20 different ways to solve that problem or 20 different ways to achieve that result. So the things I'm sharing, the things you're going to come up with, the things your clients are going to come up with, as long as it makes some kind of sense that those 3 chunks are going to help them get where they want to go, then, fantastic. There's more than one way to pet a cat. Yes. Yeah. Had to change that one. You're welcome. Why would you ever want to do anything other than pet a cat, right? Feed a cat maybe, but change the litter box. Maybe find it a new home, but definitely not anything else. Okay, so strategize your actions. That's the 3 chunk method. There's the 1 year, 90-day, 30-day, 1 week method, which is one that I do all the time at my events. Like not every live event, but most of my live events, we do that method. I just be like, okay, all you got to do is tell them to do it. Or you can do it together and they can run things by you. But at my events, I'm like, okay, create a 12-month game plan for your business. Don't do it right now. We'll do it later. Create a 12-month game plan for your business. Not like all the details. This is not like a to-do list of everything you need to do over the next 12 months, but like what are the major things that you're going to need to do over the next 12 months to have this $100,000 or $1 million or multi-million-dollar business? And so then people think and they come up with some stuff and they write it down. And then I'm like, okay, great. Next thing to do is over the next 90 days. Now we're going to get a little bit more detail, but you already know some of the big things. What do you need to do over the next 90 days? And then you write that down. What do you need to do over the next 30 days? We get a little bit more detail, a little bit more closer time horizon. What do you need to do over the next week? Keep it simple. Do not let it get to be some giant to-do list, right? Few things to get some momentum. What do you need to do this week, right? And that's it. Boom. Now they've got a plan. It's that simple. You just tell them to do it and they do it. There's another simple planning method, and that is the 3 most important things today method. The 3 most important things to do today method. And that's basically you just tell them every day, think to yourself, what are the 3 most important things that I need to do today to achieve my goals? If you can have a big long to-do list if you want, but if you only did those 3 things, you'd have a really good day. Just every day write down those 3 things. And then there's one more method that is maybe the most fun and possibly the most powerful, and that is the backward planning method. And that is where you already have it. You go to a year from now, you're in your best shape of your life. What did you do to get there? How did you do it, and how did you make it easy? How did you make it fun? What were some of the challenges that came up along the way, and how did you overcome them? That is a fun way to plan. And that's how I'm going to have you practice planning with buddy coaches at lunch when we go to lunch in a little bit. Not yet, but in the near future, we're going to have a lunch break. And during the lunch break, I want you to work in groups of 3. And I want you to practice this. One person's the coach, one person's the client, one person's the observer. What do you think the observer's job is? The observer's job is to observe. And after the coaching is done, they can share their observations. And that's it. They're not there to butt in and help out. They're not there to like roll their eyes and go, oh my God, I can't believe this coach is like so terrible. They're not there to judge the client and go, oh my God, I can't believe that's what they want. Jeez, they'll never get that. Your job is to observe. Everybody clear on the observer's job? Raise your hand if you're clear on the observer's job. Nice. Okay. What do you think the client's job is? To be coached. Share as honestly as you feel like you can. Play along as best you can. One of the things about this particular planning method is it can feel a little silly. We're going to do the backward planning method. You're going to imagine you already have it. You have this $100,000 business or this $1 million business. This is where a time frame might be good, because if you don't have any clients or money yet and you're like, oh, let's start off having a $1 million business, you could do that totally okay too. It might be more reasonable to do what you think you might be able to get to in a year. Maybe a $250,000 coaching business, maybe $500,000. I'm not here to tell you what you can or can't do in a year. And again, timing isn't critical. But because you're imagining the future, time is now a piece of it. So, imagine a year from now or at the end of 2020, so maybe you give yourself even a couple extra months. Imagine it's the end of 2020 and you've achieved, and just pick one, maybe not all of your goals. Let's just pick one. You've achieved that one, circled your 3 most important goals. Maybe just pick one of those or one element of it. Maybe if that goal is to have a $1 million business, maybe you're going to go 250 or 500 or something over the next. So a year from now or the end of 2020, you've achieved this, and I want you to notice, this is a good question to ask, I want you to notice what it feels like to have achieved this. In fact, a great way to do this is to imagine, if you're the coach and the client, imagine that you're going to interview them for a magazine because of their success. Hey, this is Christian from Success Accelerator magazine, and I am here to interview you today because of all the success that you had with ... And I'm so thrilled to be here with you today. And then you could ask some questions like, how does it feel to have achieved a $250,000 a year coaching business in just 12 months or 15 months, whatever it was? Like, how does it feel? How proud of yourself are you? How much stronger and more confident are you now because you achieved all that? And I don't have a cheat sheet with all these questions, so do your best to write some of them down. What's the best part of having achieved this? What do your friends and family think now that you've achieved all this? How do they treat you? How are they different with you now? What were the most important things that you needed to do to achieve this? That's the plan right there. What are the most important things that you needed to do to achieve this incredible result? What was the biggest challenge that came up along the way, and how did you overcome it? What else was really important to you achieving this so quickly? What else, if anything, was really important to you achieving this so quickly? Yeah, I agree. Olga said, this is so good. Yeah, it's good. Good stuff. Okay. That's the coach's job, is to ask some of those questions. What else are you going to do while you're asking those questions? Be present. Smile, nod, oh, that sounds, oh gosh, way to go. Great job. Oh, God, you're so smart. Okay. So who's the most important person in the trio? The coach, the client, or the observer? The coach. Yeah. So when you are working with your clients, the most important person is the client, especially when they're paying you. For this, when you're learning new coaching skills and you're practicing your coaching, the most important person is the coach, not the client. The client is a practice dummy. Guinea pig. Irrelevant. No. We love you, clients. But I don't want you to don't worry about getting it right. Don't worry about it's practice. This is a practice. You could screw this stuff up, and you're not going to screw up anybody's life, and nobody paid you any money for this coaching. You're giving free coaching out. Okay? Coach, client, just be the client. Listen or answer questions. Play full out. That's your job. If you're the client, play full out. Let yourself be coached. Notice how you feel. Notice any weirdness, anxiety, I feel weird, I don't want to share my goal, but share it anyway. Be brave or don't. Pick one that you're not afraid to share and miss out if you so choose. Notice how I'm challenging you subtly here. Showing you the consequences of playing small. Right? But notice, it's not about not being afraid. It's about noticing if you are afraid and being aware of it, and then deciding if you're going to shrink or step up. Shrinking is okay. I do it all the time. And I step up too. I step up a lot. There's no way I would be here where I'm at in my life if I hadn't stepped up a lot. You got to step up. You got to be willing to take risks. I hope you found that training valuable. Keep tuning in and watching all the rest of the videos so you can get certified at the very end.